helped my former boss get fired. 3 years ago, I quit a job I loved because I couldn't stand the women in charge. There were technically two agencies that worked together, and both executive directors are horrible. It's well known among staff that they give themselves raises every year, but refuse to give other people a raise. They do very little work, yet take all the credit and will even publicly shame hard-working employees. They held an hour-long meeting after I told them I couldn't possibly add any more tasks to my schedule to tell me how horrible I was, and claimed I wasn't getting my work done, that I was a liar, and that I needed to put more effort into my work instead of my personal life. I had just suffered my third miscarriage and was getting a lot of testing done. I put in my notice 3 days later. Their data analyst was quickly able to prove that not only was I doing all of my work, I was actually inputting data for others. We had to input proof of everything we did. 2 weeks ago, I was having a casual conversation with my boss, who just happens to be the board president for one of the agencies. He asked me why I left and informed me that 3 years later they still haven't been able to fill my position. I told him the truth and told him that I found it very odd that the board never did an audit because it seemed obvious that the directors weren't doing their job and fund weren't being handled properly. Well, they did one last month, and one director was unavailable because she went on a month-long trip. She couldn't prove that she didn't misuse funds when it looked as though she did. She was released last week after 25 years. Not only did they claim that she misused funds, but they also felt she was faking her timesheets since she couldn't prove what hours she worked. And they felt she was misusing her authority by making her employees come into the office while she supposedly worked from home,